Good afternoon. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Today, for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I have a poem that I found, came through my email. It is a poem that was written for Barack Obama's inauguration back in 2013. It's by Richard Blanco, and it's entitled One Today. And I think it's a good reminder of all the ways that we are united in this country. Right now, we're so divided that I think this is a very good reminder for us that we are united in more ways than we may realize, and a real tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. today. So this is entitled One Today by Richard Blanco. One sun rose on us today, kindled over our shores, peeking over the Smokies, greeting the faces of the Great Lakes, spreading a simple truth across the Great Plains, then charging across the Rockies. One light, waking up rooftops, under each one a story told by our silent gestures moving behind windows. My face, your face, millions of faces in morning's mirrors, each one yawning to life, crescendoing into our day. Pencil yellow school buses, the rhythm of traffic lights, fruit stands, apples, limes, and oranges arrayed like rainbows begging our praise. Silver trucks heavy with oil or paper, bricks or milk, teeming over highways alongside us, on our way to clean tables, read ledgers, or save lives, to teach geometry or ring up groceries as my mother did for 20 years, so I could write this poem. All of us as vital as the one light we move through, the same light on blackboards with lessons for the day, equations to solve, history to question, or atoms imagined. The I have a dream, we keep dreaming, or the impossible vocabulary of sorrow that won't explain the empty desks of 20 children marked absent today and forever. Many prayers, but one light breathing color into stained glass windows. Life into the faces of bronze statues, warmth onto the steps of our museums and park benches as mothers watch children slide into the day. One ground, our ground, rooting us to every stalk of corn, every head of wheat sown by sweat and hands, hands gleaning coal or planting windmills in deserts and hilltops that keep us warm, hands digging trenches, routing pipes and cables, hands as worn as my father's cutting sugarcane, so my brother and I could have books and shoes. The dust of farms and deserts, cities and plains, mingled by one wind, our breath. Breathe. Hear it through the day's gorgeous din of honking cabs, buses launching down avenues, the symphony of footsteps, guitars, and screeching subways, the unexpected songbird on your clothesline. Hear squeaky playground swings, trains whistling, or whispers across cafe tables. Hear the doors we open for each other all day, saying hello, shalom, bueno girno, howdy, namaste, or buenos dias, in the language my mother taught me, in every language spoken into one wind, carrying our lives without prejudice as these words break from my lips. One sky. Since the Appalachians and Sierras claimed their majesty, and the Mississippi and Colorado worked their way to the sea, thank the work of our hands, weaving steel into bridges, finishing one more report for the boss on time, stitching another wound or uniform, the first brushstroke on a portrait, or the last floor on the Freedom Tower, jutting into a sky that yields to our resilience. One sky, toward which we sometimes lift our eyes, tired from work, some days guessing at the weather of our lives, some days giving thanks for a love that loves you back, sometimes praising a mother who knew how to give, or forgiving a father who couldn't give what you wanted. We head home, through the gloss of rain or weight of snow or the plum blush of dusk, but always home, always under one sky, our sky, and always one moon like a silent drum tapping on every rooftop and every window of one country, all of us facing the stars. Hope, a new constellation, waiting for us to map it, waiting for us to name it together. And a couple of suggestions of things you might watch today to observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day. On Netflix, the documentary 13th is showing. Movies like Loving, Da 5 Bloods, Moonlight, and the new movie Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is on my list to watch. And on Amazon, there's a new movie entitled One Night in Miami. And then the documentary All In, The Fight for Democracy, and Stacey Adams' work in that area. I'm sure there are many other things that you could be watching and participating in on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I would encourage you to do that. And prayers for our country this week, and prayers for all of you. Peace be with you on this day, one day.